All right, I'd like to call to order the July 13th, 2023 voting meeting of the Keystone Central School District. The first order of business would be a salute to the flag and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah, because I need to make that announcement. Thank you. Go ahead.
Mr. Dietrich,
Here.
Mrs. Donahue, Mr. Elling,
Present.
Mr. Johnston,
Here.
Mr. Knopf,
Here.
Mr. Koch,
Present.
Ms. Lynch,
Here.
Mr. Scholes,
Here.
and Mrs. Smith.
Here.
8 members present.
Okay, thank you. All right, so next up, we have a presentation on the Champion Program. And if I'm not mistaken, you guys are going to take care of that for us?
The elementary principals.
All right, good evening. Well, I just want to first start off with thanking you for giving us the opportunity to come here to talk about the Champions before and after school program. My name is Brett Umbenhauer. I am the principal of Renova Elementary and Liberty Curtin Elementary School. And with me this evening, I have Rolanda Murdy, principal of Woodward Elementary, and Tyler Barth, principal of Robb Elementary. A couple months ago, the principals had an opportunity to sit down with a representative of the Champions program to listen to the many benefits of their program and how it would benefit our families, our community, and most importantly, our students. Over the course of that meeting, we quickly realized it was something that we wanted to recommend to the board to have in our buildings. So tonight on the agenda, there is a service agreement for 3 of our 5 elementary schools, being Renova, Woodward, and Robb Elementary. And the reason those 2 other schools, they already have before and after school programs in their buildings. But this would give an opportunity for the communities of Robb, Woodward, and Renova to have some before and after school care in their facilities. So I'm going to turn it over to Rolanda. She has some benefits that we were able to hear from the Champions program.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to share this information with you. I'm excited to share it with you because I was not at that original meeting, so I heard all this information afterward. And listening from the perspective of the families that I serve at Woodward Elementary, I couldn't believe what all it offered for them. It's an affordable option for families to provide an all-inclusive childcare setting before and after school. It would start at 6 a.m. for the families who need to get somewhere early and have to drop the children off and have to wait in line to drop them off. It starts at 6. It goes until 6 p.m. It has a flexible scheduling option. You can choose 1 to 2 days, or you can choose 3 to 5 days a week. In addition, you could choose AM or PM, or you can choose AM and PM. There are discounts available for military, KCSD staff, and multiple children enrolled. There are employment options for authentic employment opportunities for our CTC students. It benefits our early childhood CTC students, and it will benefit district employees who are seeking additional employment because it will align with their schedule. It will work with eligible families to secure financial data, and it will help our families to complete that paperwork to be eligible. They will adhere to all of our district safety protocols. It is an in-house program. It will not require additional district resources to function. And the programming will provide homework help, which is something I know that my families have talked to me about as a concern, that when they work later, it's very difficult to get them home, get them settled, get them to eat, get them to do their homework, and have some family time before a decent bedtime. They will be purchasing an after-school snack, which will be purchased through our school food services program. And they will provide physical activity as well as relationship building. It provides so many benefits to our families. And I'm just so excited that we might be able to have the possibility and the opportunity to bring that to 3 of our schools.
Brett's gonna do that.
So our next slide is on consideration. So the reason obviously that we're here tonight is it's on the agenda and we're kind of in a time crunch. We're at that point of the year or part of the summer where families are trying to solidify childcare for the upcoming school year. We want to make sure that this information gets to the families in a timely manner so that they can make the appropriate decision for their family or the best decision for their family for childcare. We feel that this option is, definitely something that is affordable compared to other programs in the area. And at this time, I'll turn it over to Tyler to go over some of those.
I got the blue mic,
Oh,
so you know
nice.
it's past that.
Perfect.
You have the cordless mic. The last slide in our presentation tonight is just simply the fee schedule and where the locations would be for their program. And as you can see there, and at the bottom, it has the tuition rates are weekly. So what's nice is there's another flexibility option of, for example, if you have a grandparent or grandparents who might be able to help every other week, you could do a 1 or 2 day option one week, and then the next week the child could attend all 5 days, and the fees based on that. So you're not locked into a 5-day fee each week. So the flexibility of the programming is nice, and it is week to week. There is a $50 registration fee up front. If you have 2 or multiple children in the program, it's $75 for registration fee. And then the discounts are 10% for the military families, 10% for multi-child discount, and there's a 15% discount for school district employees. So those are the discounts that are available. And again, just to echo Brett and Rolanta's sentiments, childcare is a great need in our community. And we just think this is a great opportunity to provide another option for our families. And it's an extremely nice option to have right within our schools. So we appreciate your consideration on this. And if you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer what we can. All right.
So will you be using a vacant classroom that is vacant? or-
So in each building, it'll be a little bit different on the location, but there would be a facilities use request form that would be completed just like it would with any other organization. So at Robb Elementary, they're going to utilize the auxiliary gym, which is in the lower level at Robb. So, and they also would utilize the outside grounds. So it would be the auxiliary gym area and the outside if it could be used, if the weather's nice, those kind of things get outside.
Okay.
Um,
What about the other buildings?
Yep.
We were told
Yep.
that there wasn't enough space that with these in the southern tier. That's why Liberty Curtin, one of the reasons we're building a new building is because we had no place to put those kids. And I realize they're not taking up a lot of space, but what other educational spaces are they going to be taking up in the other buildings?
Yeah, so at Renova Elementary, they're using a vacant classroom. And again, this program is from 6 o'clock in the morning till 7:20. And then again at 2:30 when the students are out, most of the majority of the students are out of the building until 6 o'clock in the evening. So it's not going to take place during our regular school hours. But at Renova Elementary, they are using a vacant classroom.
And at Woodward Elementary, they are going to have to be like ships passing very smoothly because at Woodward, they are going to be using the library. And then if we're not using the library, or if we are, then they'll use the gym. So we'll flip flop. And then the outside, they'll be able to utilize the outside, and our PTO, thank them so much, purchased a Gaga pit and our children love it. So this will be another opportunity for them to get out there under the pavilion and play with that. And so it's putting something PTO purchased into play for there. So we are sharing spaces and being very flexible, but we're used to that at Woodward.
Okay.
Would you anticipate any extra traffic or anything along that line that could be any issue or parking or it?
That's why I grabbed the mic, because at Woodward, if you've ever driven by 664, when Woodward is having dismissal or arrival, it can get pretty crowded out there. And we have a team out there because we don't want the cars to back up onto 664. We are hoping that that would actually reduce some of our car traffic in the morning and in the afternoon. That is our hope.
And just to answer Ms. Lynch's question also, it'd be very similar to like the Keystone Academy that we run at Rob, which is after school. So once the students are dismissed, essentially our building is freed up. So it would run in a similar fashion as far as space and availability of space.
Anything else?
I have a whole list, so I want to please, if any other board member would like to go ahead, I have a whole list.
Do they
Okay.
use a certified teacher or what they use in early childhood?
The staff will be hired by and employed by the Champions program.
How will it be as far as security clearances and all those good things?
They handle
Yep,
all that.
and that's in the agreement that they're going to follow all KCSD safety guidelines and protocols.
Clearances and all of
Yeah,
that.
okay,
They're
that's-
responsible.
that's-
Yep.
That's what I wanted to make
Yep.
sure about, so. Okay,
Very similar also to, for example, our CSBBH program, Marikey program is a behavioral health service that's in-house at Robb Elementary School. They're an outside entity that is housed in our building. So it'd be very similar in regards to that, as far as when they're in our facilities, they would follow our protocol procedures and policies with those things.
Another example is at Liberty Curtin Elementary, where I'm also the principal. We do have a program called In God's Hands. It's one of the local churches at Blanchard Church of Christ, who runs a program right out of our gymnasium every day after school.
That's
So
wonderful.
yeah, similar situation.
and they are not going to be displaced or anything
No,
like
so
that,
that's
correct?
one of the reasons we are not having the Champions program at Liberty Curtin, due to the fact we don't want to push out a local
Group.
Okay,
company that's already
Good.
providing that service.
The YMCA runs one at Mill
No,
Hall. Elementary.
Correct. And that's
Okay,
why
so-
Mill Hall
and the-
doesn't have to keep those local businesses.
okay,
Uh,
good, because I mean, competition's good, but we don't want to be stifling competition.
And that's why it's
So-
in these three areas that don't currently have this
Okay.
service.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, I think this program is something that, like you mentioned, has been needed for a long time. And I know what you're saying, Rolanda, about the traffic and all that kind of thing. It should help you with that situation. And just the fact that they start at 6 and then they go to 6 in the evening gives the parents a whole lot more flexibility, especially those folks that have to get to work by 7 or earlier. Looking at all the benefits, I really don't see anything negative about it. I think it's something that's much needed, and I think it's going to be hopefully greatly received by parents, and it gives them peace of mind that they're taken care of till they can get them.
I just have one question. I was looking at the agreement. So on school holidays or conference days, do they do full day? Will they provide a full day, or is it just before and after school on regular
Yeah,
school days?
it's just before and after school care on school days.
Okay.
I just have a comment. I think
Okay.
personally, I believe that this is going to be very beneficial to our students, to our families, and to our community. And I think I don't see any downsides to why we not have this program and not welcome it with open arms into our district.
Me too.
I mean, this here is one of those things that is a perk for our employees. And it's not just, it wouldn't just be teachers. It's other individuals.
Yeah.
So it's all staff members. So this here is something that benefits everybody. And then not only that, that's something that we can put out to say, hey, look, we're offering this. So I think that's a great thing to have. Okay.
Yeah, if it's okay, I'd like to make a comment. My kids, I used this exact program for my kids. It was more than 10 years ago. I think I remember the cost back then was about twice what we're charging. I'm not sure why that is, but yeah, I found it to be useful. My mom helped take care of my kids, but she wasn't available every day of the week to help. So I typically used it 2 or 3 days a week. Where if I had meetings early in the morning or meetings in the evening, then I found it to be helpful. I am going to bring up one point though. One of the other board members mentioned to me that there's a concern about the amount of money we're charging them per square foot to use our facilities. And I'm going to preemptively say, I understand that point. And I understand that in the future, we should consider, charging whatever the local billing rate is per square foot when a for-profit company uses our facilities. But I'm not personally willing to stand in the way of this program, and to wait for us to deliberate and discuss that points in regard to the lease fees. I used the program myself. I liked it. It was beneficial to me. Here it's, like I said, the rates that are being charged are definitely affordable. They're, I believe, if I remember correctly, less than I paid 10 years ago. So that's all good stuff from my point of view. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. No, any other discussion?
Just to point to us charging them more, if we charge them more, then they're gonna jack up the prices on the parents.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's probably why it was
So,
more
like,
expensive for me like 10 years ago. Yeah.
yeah, so.
Okay,
Thank you. I just want to, I brought this same topic up about 3 to 5 years ago. I don't remember exactly, but I'll say at least 3 years ago. I completely and fully support childcare services for our employees. And back then I was completely dismissed and the eyes were rolling so high up in their heads, I think their eyeballs were going to fall out. So I just want to make it very clear that I have always wanted childcare for our employees, and I stand by that today. What I do not agree with is this is actually kinder care. They call it CHAMPS. It's part of kinder care. Please take a moment to Google, look at their website. They're all over the world. This is a for-profit company that was going to try for stock options a few years ago. Now, whether or not they do that in the future, doesn't matter at this point. If you read what I read on the web, may be true, maybe not. But I feel fairly confident that what I read was, quote, real news. Anecdotally, since it was read on the web, they come into an area and eventually the mom and pops and the private businesses can't compete. I do not support the public school system giving educational square footage to a for-profit company at the rate that's in the contract. I'm going to have it pulled and I'm voting no. I wish I could vote yes. If this was the YMCA, if this was any other local business, nonprofit, I would vote yes 1,000 times. I think we're opening up a door to a precedent here. And my intuition, I'm not going to go there. It's not important. I'm just saying there's no way I'm supporting this. And I am stunned that anyone in administration would come to us with a for-profit worldwide company to take up square footage for education that we should be doing for our students. I'm stunned. And I have been writing about this and talking about this for months, and I'm being completely dismissed. No to kinder care, in public schools unless they pay the going rate for square footage. And if they have to charge more to be competitive, so be it. But us giving a discount to a for-profit company is ludicrous to me. And I still can't believe it's on the agenda.
Okay, with that being said, any other discussion? None? Okay. I did not do this at the beginning of the meeting, but I will do it now. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Just to let you know that tonight we held an executive session from 6:03 to 6:50, and this was for legal purposes. It was 6:50, yeah. So, okay. Next thing is hearing of visitors. Do we have any? No hearing of visitors? Okay. Oh, okay. Did you sign up? Just come on up, sign. Yeah. Okay, sir. Just to let you know that we will allow you 4 minutes.
Sure.
Okay, and could you please state your name and your address?
Okay. Hi, my name is Jonathan Stroh. We're a vendor with NRG Controls North. We've been providing security services here for about 5 years. Our address is 749 North Susquehanna Avenue in Selinsgrove, PA. We're a local vendor, small business, and we've been doing all of your camera work here for, like I said, the past 5 years, I believe. On the business tonight, there's an option to rescind the motion for our contract with you guys or the approval of an agreement we had for camera work and vape sensors. And I see there's another thing here for competitors' numbers to go in that are priced higher than us and 3 hours away as opposed to an hour. But the biggest thing is what they're providing is not the same thing that we were providing you. So we're not comparing apples to apples. The sensors that they're providing don't have the people counting in. That was a big driver for the product. I felt an obligation to, bring that to your attention. We just discovered it yesterday afternoon. So before you spend, more money and get less, just wanted to bring that to your attention. That's the way we do business. We do business face to face. And we've always supported you guys. We always support all of our customers. So, and some of the other points that that the competing system may seem as an advantage. With the current system, we can do for very limited funds, like $2,000 for card access integration to the system. So you don't have to throw away everything that you have and learn a new system and the whole 9 yards. So, like I said, that the people counting thing in the Halo sensors was the big factor. And also the cost of the service agreement that we quoted you was for 8 days and the competition quoted 5 days. So our price for a 5-day service contract for 5 years would be $73,000 as opposed to the competition being $106,000. So we would just like the opportunity to provide you. We're also on PEPM for the IP video Halo vape sensors that we quoted. So we're more than happy to give you that pricing. That's something new that we piloted the people counting in the smart sensor for you. And you guys were probably the third people in the country to get it. So a lot of other businesses aren't aware of what's involved, and they thought it was the same thing, I'm guessing. But we work closely with our manufacturers and stand behind what we do, so. That's all.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Yep.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, well, then we'll move on to the superintendent's report. Mark?
On Dr. Martin's absence, I just have one real quick comment in terms of information. We're moving closer toward an August 24th public meeting date for safety and security. Dr. Martin and I will be pushing additional information out for everyone, but we're planning on it being an informational session and certainly a give and take between public, students, staff, anyone that wants to come and explain and go over some more detail about our safety and security efforts, some of the things that we are doing in our schools and providing additional information. So I just wanted to again throw it out at this point in time to let folks know that again, August 24th, 6 p.m. We'll be pushing some additional information out over the next month, but just so folks can put that on their calendar at this point. So that's all I have. Thank you, Roger.
Okay. All right.
Mark, I have a quick question, if it's okay.
Sure.
Am I wrong on this? It's my understanding that at that meeting, there would be a display that lists all of the ideas that came from the public at our March, what was it, 22nd meeting on school safety, and what happened to those ideas?
Yeah, we'll be providing, well, quite honestly, a whole bunch of information, and that will all be included in that, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. There have been no committee meetings, if I'm correct. So at this point, I will entertain a motion.
I'm gonna make a motion to move the agenda with the exception of the following items that I'd like to have pulled. G11, J7, J8, J18, and K1.
Okay,
Yes, I'd like to pull F1, please.
The treasurer's report.
I have a question. Well, I have a question. I'm sorry, I wasn't here at the work session.
So pull it and we'll discuss it.
okay,
Real quick.
yeah, all right.
I'm not sure.
And not, I'd like to pull J6, the Justice Works Youth Care Agreement. I'd like to talk about it.
Okay. Anything else?
I'll second that motion.
Okay. With that being said, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. Abstentions? None? Okay,
I guess I'm gonna try to do this in order. I'll make a motion to approve F1, the treasurer's report.
I'll second that.
okay. Discussion?
I just have a question, and not that I'm seeking any answer tonight, but maybe if it goes to the finance committee or something, I don't know where, but if it's true that we didn't get the solar grant, and I don't know yet, I mean, I just looked on the web, it might not be, maybe I'm reading the wrong thing, but if we didn't get the solar grant, the $2 million we had to raise taxes for to be the match for the grant, I'd like the finance committee or some committee to discuss, do we give the money back to the taxpayers? Do we do something else with the money? So we just need to first confirm whether or not the solar, so my financial page, the treasurer's report, I don't know where that, what I'm trying to say is, I don't know where that $2 million is on that treasurer's report.
Maybe I can answer some of your concerns.
Okay.
Superintendent made a report at the work session that we did not qualify for that grant. The grant was not accurate. It was for a solar field, but it's also being used for the
HVAC.
rooftop HVAC systems that I think we talked about around a $15 million project at the school, here at the Central Mountain High School. Initially, when we talked about this $2 million, including it in the budget, we discussed what would happen if we did not get this grant. We know those HVAC systems need replaced.
Mhm.
So we anticipated using that $2 million to put it into a capital project to
Towards that.
start using that to replace the HVAC system. That was discussed at facility meetings, finance meetings, and I think at our meeting.
Mhm.
Okay.
More
All
than
right, I don't remember that. I'm sure it happened. I don't
Discussed
remember.
Several times.
I don't recall that either, but yeah, okay.
It was mentioned several times
Numerous
during
times it
budget
was discussed.
discussions.
Like I said, it was discussed at the facility meeting, discussed at finance meeting,
And during
discussed at
the,
our board meetings, that what would happen with this $2 million. And we talked about putting it back into the capital project, the capital fund to be used to start the project, because we know those systems are at the end of their life
Oh, that's true. I know.
and
you're
they
right.
need replaced.
Okay.
So.
Any other discussion? Okay. Well, was it moved and seconded? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, thank you.
Okay, I think the next one is G11, the student expulsion. I'd like to have that tabled until next month.
I'll second that.
Any discussion on that? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay. Next.
The next two I pulled was J7 and J8. After hearing the gentleman speak tonight, I just have some questions and concerns about that. I'm hoping Mark can elaborate more and tell us what's going on with them. So I'd like to kind of like run them two together. So I guess I'll have to make a motion to approve J7 and J8. We can have it seconded, then have a discussion on it.
I'll
Okay.
second it.
So I'll make
Okay.
a motion to approve
Second.
J7 and 8.
Okay,
I'll second it.
and that's second. Okay, discussion?
I can just, I'll say it. I know Rob's online here tonight. I'll have him jump in here in a second for us, but the product that you are considering tonight with the different company is the exact same product that we have been talking about with the same capabilities. It's my understanding that the quote that the company has provided to us, just simply, it's a typo that didn't include the 3CPC, which is the halo sensor that has the counting capability. But if you look at the price quote on the quote itself, it reflects what that particular sensor costs at that level. And again, Rob, you can speak to that a lot more clearly than what I can. I don't know if you want to chime in here in terms of your conversations with that company or not, but.
Yeah, Mark, that sensor has a PEPM price of, I think 1720 something or another, and they're actually under it at 1685. They said that their sensor is, well, as listed, when it comes out of their system, it pulls that generic number but they have the one with the people counter.
I understand, but
Hey,
think I
Rob,
understood
is
your-
there any way you could turn your volume down? Because I think you're getting feedback or something, because it was kind of hard to understand what you were
I'm
saying.
sorry. Is that better there?
Yeah, that's a little bit better.
All right, they said that when I questioned that part number, the part number is generic out of their system. They only use the one sensor that has the people counter in it. And it's reflected on the PEPM pricing. They can't charge more than what the statewide PEPM pricing is. And they're actually under it at 1685. So we have we did question it, and it is the exact same stuff.
And I'd also add that the software that the camera system will be running on does offer additional capabilities than what we currently have within our system. So again, that was part of the reason why we wanted to make that switch. It'll give us, again, advanced capabilities from what we currently have.
Mark, what do you mean by advanced capabilities? What are some examples?
Well, it'll allow us to eventually, when we do upgrade our card system, operate off a unified platform for our safety security system. And I would also say that, I don't want to go into a whole lot of detail in public, but just blurring faces on the camera system, tracking individuals within the camera system will be something that will be in addition to what we are able to currently do.
And so we absolutely, the system from the Sealands Grove outfit doesn't
I'm
quite
not-
do that, as far as you understand.
I'm not going to say that it won't do that, because I do believe that there are some capabilities that we could add to that system that we currently have. But regardless, if we stay on the Milestone software platform, that will not allow us to integrate necessarily into the different platform that we want to move to eventually with the swipe card system. Again, not to say that you couldn't with what we currently have too, and I don't want to disparage any company or anything along those lines. I don't want anyone to think that I'm speaking poorly of either organization, but I think for us and the abilities and capabilities that this will provide our system will enhance our current platform and provide us room for growth in the future.
Okay. Any other questions?
So just make sure I understand this. The DES Smart Sensor Camera System Agreement does everything that the energy control system does and more?
That's correct. It does everything that what we currently have in terms of the sensors will be the same that we're piloting. So the people counter portion of that will be a part of that. And then the second part of it is the software platform that will run that system. And that software will provide us with additional capabilities than what we currently have.
And the reason it's more expensive is because of additional capabilities of the software.
Well, again, Rob, I don't know that I can speak specifically to that other than to say that I know that part of that increased cost was the transition from one platform to another and the work that's going to be involved to make that happen. I don't know the technical side of it well enough to speak to that, but that was part of my understanding as to why that is a little bit more expensive at this point in time. I would just also say that that's a 5-year agreement too. So Rob, I don't know if there's anything you can add to that in terms of the software migration part of it.
Yeah, and I only spoke I spoke with Jeremy and Ed on that about the migration piece of it, and they've looked into it, they've reviewed it, everything from their end. They like the capability for how it's going to perform with our servers. Some other stuff on the back end they felt was going to work very well. Our police services looked at this. They like it. They like the integration into all of the other systems that we're going to have. So this was really a decision that came out of where the security people were. And if you average it over a year by year, it's not a big number difference to have the added services that the software will provide. And I think it's actually going to give the officers more time to do officer type work versus trying to scroll through footage on the camera systems and different things. There's just a lot more capabilities. When the officers looked at it, they seem to like it way better. And we like it because it integrates to the card access system.
And one thing too, just as I'm sitting here thinking about it, one of the things that is a definite enhancement is opportunity for us to share video much more rapidly with first responders upon arrival. That was also one of the key selling points from my perspective, because I know in my conversations with first responders throughout the county, that's one of the concerns, that if they're, called here on an emergency basis, how quickly can they get access to our systems? So that's also another aspect of it. So that was something I wanted to bring up as well.
Once again, I think if we have individual questions that would be more, I guess, deeper, we could ask them in the safety and security meeting where it's not an open meeting where we're going to discuss all the safety factors of the systems that we have.
Okay. Any other questions? Any other discussion?
I just want to make sure that the one that administration and the supervisor of facilities, Rob, is saying is the one to go with is what number? What letter? Just so I make sure.
J8.
J8. Okay, great.
But to do J8, we have to do J7.
Okay, got it. Okay. Okay,
That's why they're connected. That's why I ran them together.
thank you. Thank you. That was a good conversation.
Okay, so since these are actually two separate items,
I
Did it in
motioned
one
them
motion
together.
though. It's
I
okay.
understand, however, because one is a rescinding and one is a moving forward. If we do one altogether and say yes, then we're actually saying yes to two.
I would separate them, just for safety, just, solicitors right here.
amended motion.
Two, yep.
Okay. So that's what I was thinking. So,
Then I guess I'd have to rescind my motion to approve J7 and J8. And whoever seconded, that's rescind their second.
I guess that was me. I will
What
rescind
did
my-
you say?
So at this time, I'll make a motion to move J7.
I'll s-
okay,
I'll second that.
okay. With that being done, or and discussion already having taken place, all those in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay,
This time I'll move J8.
Jeff,
We have a second for J8 for the,
I'll second that. Can we ask for roll calls?
I would say probably a roll call on this since it's a purchase item.
okay,
Mr. Dietrich,
Yes.
Mrs. Donahue, absent, Mr. Elling,
yes,
Mr. Johnson,
Yes,
Mr. Knopf,
yes,
Mr. Coke,
Yes.
Ms. Lynch,
Yes,
Mr. Scholes,
Yes.
and Mrs. Smith.
Yes.
8 yes votes.
okay.
okay, apparently I missed one going through my. list.
J6,
J6.
Yes.
Justice Works. So I'll make a motion that we approve J6 to Justice Works Youth Care Agreement.
I'll second that.
What I had, oh, yeah. I have
okay,
a couple,
discussion?
Issues with it. I won't stand in the way of this contract. I'll certainly vote to approve it, but I do think our school district needs to explore keeping these services within the county instead of sending, troubled children, youth to the academy over in State College or elsewhere. And that at least the school district make a concerted effort to keep this service
Is there any,
internally.
is there any in the county?
There's some of these outside agencies are very specific to what they
Yes.
support. And Clayton County does not have a lot
I
of these
understand that, but what
services.
I'm saying is the school district needs to explore keeping this internally in the future after this contract completes. And this gives us a full year to make some of those explorations and determine.
I agree with you that that would definitely be good.
I
but
mean,
those
it may
things just don't
not be
always
able
exist.
to be implemented, but
Yeah.
I do wish we would explore it because we've had multiple discussions and sidelines, so forth of, we're spending the money, sending these kids out of the county, paying people who live in another county, most likely, and the professionals who work at those facilities. And certainly, I think would be best to keep those services internally within the county. And I don't know if that means we have to partner with a nonprofit or for-profit or the county, but we at least make that exploration.
I think something we could look at is, I'd love to see us look at providing maybe a space in our building to have some sort of alternative education process. It's similar to what we had years ago in the Heart Academy. I don't think we can do that any longer. I don't think we can have our own alternative education, but I think it's something we should really look into exploring.
Go ahead.
An exploration would be great. Maybe this is something the new superintendent might, I don't know, who knows? But an exploration but I would like it at some point to be put on the agenda at the facilities committee. So at least we can, as a committee, explore, because, Rob knows the school really well, the layout. Maybe there's something that wouldn't infringe on CTC that might help in the long run. I don't know, but I would like to see it put on the agenda for facilities. So at least we can get the ball rolling.
Okay, well, that'll be something that the facility committee would actually have to take up first. So that would be something that needed to be recommended at the committee meeting, not now.
Correct.
But I
that's the
understand.
thing, I just wanted to
Okay.
get it out there.
So, all right. So, any other discussion? No? Okay. Well, we have the motion, we have it seconded. All those in favor?
Hi.
Hi.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
I think-
Yeah, I abstain.
Okay.
Next, I think I have J18, the Champions Child Care. I think one thing that brought to our attention that I think on the document we had on our agenda had a discount for 10% for school district. It's supposed to be 15. So it has to be amended. So I'd like to move that we approve the amended agreement
Of the 15%.
of 15% with Justin Works Youth Care.
Okay. All right. Do I have a second on that?
Oh, I'm sorry, Champions. I'm not Justin Works Champions. Well, that's the wrong thing highlighted there. Sorry.
I'll
Champions
second it.
Childcare.
Okay,
Oh, sorry.
I'll second that.
all right. So now, would that be a roll call?
I'll request it. real quick.
Okay, all right. Let's do roll call.
Mr. Elling,
Yes.
Mr. Johnston,
Yes.
Mr. Knopf,
Yes.
Mr. Coke,
Yes.
Ms. Lynch,
No.
Mr. Scholes,
Yes.
Mrs. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Dietrich.
Yes.
7 yes, 1 no, motion passes.
Okay,
Okay, I think I got one more. K1, the personnel item or personnel agenda. And the only reason I pulled that is I like a discussion on it. So
okay,
I'll make a motion to approve K1.
I'll second that.
okay. Motion approved and seconded. Discussion?
Yeah, the first thing I'd like to do is welcome, I'll probably screw this up. David Reminiscence. Okay. How about this, David? I'd like to welcome you to the school district. I sat in on the one night of interviews and he impressed me and I thought it was an excellent interview, probably one of the better ones I've been involved in years. So thank you. Thank you for coming to the district. Thank you for the district for hiring him. I think he's gonna do wonderful things at the middle school. So thank you.
Sitting beside him
And-
there is
and-
Karen Bossert, the new middle
Yeah.
school counselor.
Oh,
Guidance
But
counselor.
I'm sorry.
and David, we want to get that library vending machine, the book vending machine and all of those.
And the second part of that, I'd like to regretfully accept Dr. Martin's resignation as part of that personnel committee. So in my opinion, I think the district has been better with her being here the last 4 years. I think she's done a very excellent job, both with the district, both with our finances, getting us recognition nationally. I'd just like to bring it to everyone's attention and make sure my friend Lopez hears something and says something nice about it. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I too would like to welcome both of you to the district. We're glad to have you on board and hopefully you'll be with us for quite a while. And I would also like to echo what Butch just said. I think Dr. Martin has done a tremendous job since she's been here. She stepped into a tough situation when she first got here. She's gotten the district curriculum wise, I think we've come light years. I'm sure that the elementary principals that are here would agree as far as that goes. And as far as her leadership with you guys, I think I think a lot of you've grown a lot since she's been here, thanks to her leadership. And I just think she, as he said, with the finances and so on, I think she's leaving with the district in very good shape. So I've told her many times that I think she's probably one of the best superintendents maybe that we've ever had in this place. So I wish her well.
Okay. Anybody else? All right. Well, with that being said, with it being moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. President,
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yes, Wayne,
could I have a roll call on that vote?
absolutely.
Mr. Johnston?
We're voting on. which-
Personnel.
I thought it was
Personnel.
K1.
Yes. Just want to make sure I know what I'm voting.
Mr. Knopf,
Yes.
Mr. Coke,
It's with conflicting emotions. I cast my vote on the one hand with deep regret that we're losing an awful good superintendent. And on the other hand, exceedingly great joy that she's achieved this station in her life. Wish her the best of luck. I vote yes.
Ms. Lynch,
Yes.
Mr. Scholes,
Yes.
Mrs. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Dietrich,
Yes.
and Mr. Elling.
With deep regret, yes. I have to say that whenever Dr. Martin came here, I was not one of her biggest fans. I had a lot of things that I didn't see, but since she has been here, my respect for her has increased 100-fold. She has brought us national recognition. She has improved the curriculum of this district 100 times over from what it was before. Her team of 10 concept, I've loved that. I mean, that's something that we should strive for. No matter who we get to replace her or anything like that, she has a team mentality. It's not, I'm telling you to do this. You're gonna do this or you're gonna do that. She brings in her team and they work collaboratively to get things done. So I'm gonna miss that. So again, like I said, I vote yes.
It's eight yes votes, motion passes.
All right.
I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn. The only thing I would suggest if we maybe bring the two new employees up, and have a picture taken.
I can't, hello,
Sorry.
It's always Butch way.
I said I'll make the motion to adjourn, but I suggest we just bring the two new employees up and have a picture. taken.
I would greatly appreciate that. So, all right,
Thank you. I'll second that. I'll second it.
meeting's over.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
See ya.
It's too late.